he or she is not passionate about God, it's going to be so much more difficult for him or her to love you in the way that God intended. God is the one that moves our hearts. And so I would just say to those of you that are committed followers of Jesus, my suggestion would be, don't give them your heart if God doesn't have theirs. Don't compromise and try to build a life with someone that has a different worldview, because what you believe about Scripture, about God, about eternity matters more than you could imagine.
What up, good people? Hey. Welcome to the Good Trouble Podcast. Good fun for others.
Good fun for others.
Good fun for some, bad trouble for others. Something like that, child.
Bro, we gotta get it together.
We gotta get that together.
Something ain't working.
I'm your host, Jack. That's your host, Marshmallow. And we are your what? I had a squirtle, y'all. A little squirtle just went.
She started
right
early.
on by.
She started early in the game.
Early in the game,
We are
y'all.
your hosts for the Good Trouble Podcast.
As
There
y'all
you
can
go.
see, our episode for this one is called Flag on the Play, honey.
Tag me in, coach.
Flag on the Play. But before we get into that, let us know how your week was. Put it in the comments, put it in the chat. Make sure that y'all are following us, sharing us, liking our content so that we can continue to come back and give y'all some more good content. All right. Now, how your week was?
Bro, real talk, my week was.
Oh, we on shade time.
Yeah, we on shade time over here, y'all. So
Come on. All right.
come on, shades. My week been weekend. This has been a real self-reflection, self-inventory type week. This has been sit in the mirror, look at your flaws, look at everything you think you are that you really are not. This has been a convicting type week.
Okay.
Girl, get yourself in order type week. Yeah, it's been that type of week.
Woo.
So
So my week has been a little something different. My week has been contrary from last week.
okay.
Last week was weekend. This week, I feel real productive.
Okay.
Like I feel real, like I got some things accomplished. I got some things done. I had some self-realizations about myself,
yeah.
especially when it comes to the work area. That was just like, girl, if you don't get your life,
Get your life.
like if you don't get your life and get it together,
Get it.
huh,
Get it quick.
you're gonna pass up on the blessings that he's already given you. Okay? And
Okay then. So okay. Well,
yeah. It's been real kind of bald head, but not all the way bald head.
I mean, girl, your hair is long
You know.
anyway. Who they calling bald head? Anyway.
So how y'all week was? Let us know in the comments. I'm not seeing nothing yet. So that must mean y'all don't like us today.
Yeah, y'all don't like us today, y'all.
Y'all don't like.
I'm like, what's
I
going
mean,
on?
is it a conspiracy against us or something?
Right. Hey, Kai.
Hey, Kai. Let us know how y'all week was, all right, y'all?
All right.
But in the meantime, while we
In
waiting on y'all to let us
between
know how y'all week was, red flags.
Red flag.
Red flags. That's what's good today. Red flags. Catching on to them, child. Catching on to them. Okay, so what is a red flag? In your opinion, what is a red flag?
I mean, simply put, it's a warning. It's a warning to stay away from, stay out of, stay from over there.
From over where?
From over there.
Over there.
Yeah, it's a warning. It's caution. Caution. Run that back turbo.
Caution.
You might want to, yeah, right. But there are red flags everywhere. But you know what's funny about red flags is that like everybody pointing a finger, but ain't nobody taking accountability.
We're gonna get into that later. We'll get into that later. 'Cause, woo! Yeah, we're gonna get into that later.
Before you go,
let's
see what the comments
how was your
said.
week was? She survived.
Mm-hmm.
He survived.
So there's that. Okay, well you still here, player.
That kind of explains a lot.
Right.
Without explaining a lot.
We'll take that because we know you will take that. We'll take that. And
Kai.
No, Kai, when Kai hit this, it be, you know it's something, bro. Like every time I see that when she starts off a sentence, it just be like, bro, she about to start.
What you gotta say, Kai?
Get the teacher look over and under. She said this week has been emotional and intentional, growing and maturing hurts. Ouch. That's nasty knowledge right there. I love it. I love it when our gang throw back that nasty knowledge because
but what she said is true though.
It is true.
Maturing and growing, that stuff hurt. And you think it's gonna be all hunky dory and run out to the sunsets and rainbows, and it hurts. Growing pains is serious.
Something serious.
Growing pains is serious, y'all.
So what say you?
So for me, red flags, like you said, is a warning.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that red light that goes off. That's just like, code 10, go back, turn around, run away.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think of red flags. That's like, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that at all.
Player.
Yeah. I'm
red
real. And when I see a red flag, I get scissor happy. You know what I mean?
Oh.
I get scissor happy. Like I be, that's a red. That's a red flag.
Right.
Snip. Like I ain't got time. Keep that over there. That's what that is for me. I ain't got time.
I mean, they cutting up in the chat already.
Are they?
Kai said, y'all leave me alone. E said, nah, she definitely be starting. She do. Kai said, call me Miss Jackson if you're nasty. Holy nasty. Mind your conduct. All right then. Kai. It's getting hot.
It's getting a little spicy in here.
With that being said, y'all know what happens when it get hot. My lip gloss start dehydrating. My lips get all. But anywho, I like that. I like what you said though. That you get.
I get scissor happy.
Scissor happy. You
Snip,
turn the
snip.
Brandon Bobbitt on them? Or
I mean, in one of the songs that I wrote, that is one of the lines. Not using her name, but just saying.
Right. Adrian said, what is really going on? Hey, Adrian. So we talking about red flags tonight. We talking about red flags, but you know what Kai talking about in the chat. She on one. So you know how that go. You know how that go.
Okay, so how many red flags?
Yeah, we shading tonight. Throw your shades on.
Come on. Okay,
Yeah.
so how many red flags until you like on to the next? And for me, I used to, like I said, I'm real scissor happy. So for me, all it takes is one small one, and I'm like, nope, cut off. I'm trying to not be so cutthroat because that's not how life goes, and I know. Yeah, I come for all the
come from the jugular,
the jugular, the spine, all that. Like ear to ear, I'm done. But I'm trying not to be like that because I know I got some red flags of my own. We're gonna talk about that later though.
Right.
So I don't want nobody cutting me off for my small look. I do mean small little red flag.
Flag on the play. I call foul on that, bro. Like I'm calling foul. I'm calling straight foul on that
so
statement, y'all.
Let me clear that up. Like if it's like I said, I'm real scissor happy. So when it comes to like the small red flags, I'll be like, nah. like you went to bed and you didn't text me type red flag, even though you've been texting me all day. Like that's a you gotta go.
Nah,
Because
bro.
why would you stop texting me? Type of deal. But you know, them big ones, yeah, I don't I go past the scissors and go to S&W. Hallelujah. Don't look at me like that.
On that note. On that note, my history with ignoring red flags is amazing. It's amazing. My because the problem is that I used to look past what I saw and always focus on the best of a person. Because I mean, if a person is all bad, I'm not going to be around you anyway. So, you know, I will always choose to highlight and focus on, you know what I mean? Like, and focus on the good things that I see. Like, it's like, whether it's a romantic relationship, family relationship, friendship, whatever, male or female, you have to, like, it's a real thing when you learn how to speak to the man or the woman without harming the child. You know what I mean? So without knowing it back then, that's what I was doing. However, I became a casualty in that game. So,
you know,
nowadays
I think we really are the same person.
I'm cut off. I'm completely cut off, shut off. My circle is smaller than a Cheerio, but it's smaller than Cheerio.
I don't got nothing that small I can show.
I mean, it's smaller
Is it
than
smaller than one of the holes on the smaller than that?
Yeah.
It's smaller than that, y'all.
Yeah.
Smaller than that. I don't know. The hole that be on that you gotta plug into your watch. It's smaller than that.
Yeah. My circle is really, really small. So, however, but with that being said, I'm now at a point that I get very, you talk about cutthroat. I turn into a savage wolf whenever I feel as though I've been betrayed, somebody came at me, you start moving funny, I'm gonna move out your way. But at the same time, I turn into a whole savage wolf, like, and there's that. So you would rather, I think you would rather me cut you off and not ever talk to you again than to stay in connection with me somehow and have to experience the wolf of me. That's not a great look for anybody, you know? So
because why? Like it's like when you have spent years of ignoring red flags, and then you have the hurt and that trauma that comes along with ignoring those red flags.
Yeah.
Now, once you finally get to a place where you're like tired, I don't want to get hurt anymore. You're like, nah, I ain't got time. So smaller than a cereal hole. But that's the amount of patience I have to deal with red flags. And I'm learning that this is gonna take a whole nother turn. But I'm learning that if I don't want God to cut me off because of my red flags, what in turn makes me do that to others? And I've hurt him over and over and over and over again.
Oh, we getting into it.
And I'm probably still gonna hurt him some more. Not as a premeditated thing, but you know, that's the effects of being human and having free will.
Right.
Sometimes even the most high and mighty get clouded. So in turn, you wind up doing things or saying things that could hurt your Father in heaven. So if I am this imperfect person that's not trying to be imperfect, but I'm imperfect anyway, and I expect for my Father in heaven to continuously forgive me, and it's been commanded of us to forgive 70 times 7.
Take it easy, breezy. They don't know about that.
I'm just saying. You know, I'm learning that
turning the heat up
I'm
in
learning.
here on the
It's
on the
getting
people.
hot.
Yeah,
Getting hot.
yeah. You turn
But
the
I'm
heat up on the
learning.
people.
I'm learning like, yeah, this person may have done something small to me that I don't like.
Right.
So if I can express that
Mm-hmm.
and say, hey, this thing that you're doing or didn't do,
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it.
Right.
What can we do to figure this out, to fix it, to compromise? Like what can we do?
Yeah.
Whereas before I was, this thing you're doing, I don't like. So now I have to be away from you and you have to go away from me and don't contact me anymore.
Right.
Don't look at me anymore. If you see me on the street, don't say hi, don't say bye. Just go on about your business. You don't know me. I don't know you. You're not even a blip on the map to me. Like that, I'm coming from that place. And I think that's where you are. That's where
that's good stuff right there.
But I'm learning. Especially since I've been praying, for hallelujah.
You've been praying
I've
for
been,
it?
child, I've been thanking him, praying for it. On my knees.
Just go and continue and drink that over.
Just saying, if I want my husband to forgive me, I have to be able to forgive my husband and have patience with him, just like he would have to have with me.
Now that's true. That's true. And before we get into this next question, y'all, let's see what the chat is saying.
Yeah, because I feel like the chat been like
they on one tonight,
on fire.
Yeah, they on one
on
tonight.
fire.
Mm-hmm.
So what y'all? Kai said, like, sir, your rate of response has been 8 minutes. It's been 22 minutes.
Whoa,
Thank you, Kai. Thank you, because
hold on, run this back, Turbo. She said she coming for your neck though. She coming for your neck. Kai said, now, Jay, them flags ain't little.
Hey, bruh, listen. My flag is, you know what? We gonna get into it. We gonna get into it.
Yeah. He said, I no longer own any red. What you talking about, Ish? I mean, you don't have to have rose gold, but go throw on your shades real quick, cause it's just the right thing to do. Ish also said, baby, I ain't God, and these ninjas ain't Jesus.
You hear me?
All right. She said, Go ahead.
Kai said forgiveness is real ghetto.
I mean,
I feel like I be feeling like sometimes forgiveness really is ghetto, but
ghetto. Let's talk about because the Bible is ghetto.
Real ghetto.
The Bible is ghetto.
I feel like the Bible is the I feel like Simon Peter and Saul Paul came from straight out the projects.
The Bible.
They came out the project.
We talk about.
Lost the earrings.
That's because the Lord knew.
Earrings?
Now, the Lord. That's a red flag. The Lord knew.
Not a red flag.
He knew I was about to say something crazy. So the Bible is like the hoodest thing you'll ever read. Like it's street. Like you gotta really, especially if you read it in the Message version. But I'm telling y'all, if y'all go
that Message
talking
version.
about a red flag, like God got red flags, y'all. And I'm gonna tell y'all this is my favorite thing to tell people. Go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and there's two things in there. He be like, he be speaking to him, about their disobedience or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he be like, one of the things he's telling him is like, you'll be engaged to a woman and another man to sleep with him. Oh, if that ain't hood, bro, that's ghetto. That's
flag on the plane. Why was that my situation?
God, what? But then,
except it was a verse.
No, but then this is the one. This is the one. Then you read down a little bit more, and God say, and He'll give you the itch. You talk about hood, ghetto. God got some red.
Oh, Lord.
His red flags is righteous, of course. However, there's still red flags. Like the Bible ghetto. It's still ghetto, but we gonna let God be God.
We're gonna let God be God.
So Kai said, like I always got to be the bigger person every time. You know what? I read something that said, if you always got to be the bigger person in your circle, you need a different circle.
I agree with that.
You know, if I always got to be the bigger person, if I'm the only one manning up,
Hmm.
then I'm out of here because this ain't it.
I agree with that because when I've been in certain relationships, friendships, and romantic, where it felt like I was always.
You've been in romantic relationships?
I mean, I wasn't previously engaged for nothing.
That's news to me.
She's so annoying, yo. But you know,
carry on.
It always felt like I was being the bigger person, and I didn't realize like that was a bunch of red flags, like a whole bunch, and I just. What was that? What flew over my head? You know,
right?
It was like I ignored him. I saw him and I saw him coming right from me. It was big too, and I went right past him and was like, "Yeah, I can deal with that."
But did you ignore him because you were trying to see the better person in him, or did you ignore him because you wanted what you wanted?
I ignored them because I wanted to see the better person. I wanted to see.
Okay.
When you're in love, you're clouded sometimes.
Yeah.
Unrighteously in love.
Yeah, right.
Let's say that. When you're unrighteously in love, you get very clouded. And when there are other things in the mix, there goes some more clouds. And now you just out here with a bunch of fog and you can't see.
Hence the shades.
Yeah.
They mean something. They mean something today.
They mean something.
Kai said, we're going to read a few more comments and we're going to go to our next question. Kai said, or when Elisha and them kids rolled up. That's true. When Elisha and them kids rolled up on them and they talking about bald head and Elisha cursed them and they got ate up. Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah, that was crazy. You said she's singing. The ring didn't mean a thing.
Whoa. The ring didn't mean a thing. Hey. All my Housewives Atlanta fans know that.
He said she ignored them because she had them rose-colored glasses on.
And I did.
Write down.
I did.
Kai says, I'm gonna go to work and tell them I got a new job because Star says so.
You know what?
Call a foul on that.
Flag on the play.
But anyway, all right, y'all. So the next question. They don't love me today.
Do you have them all the way in?
Probably not. But anyway,
let me help you.
Man, we on camera. Anyway, okay. So the next question is: are there levels to red flags?
Absolutely.
Are there levels?
I absolutely believe that there are levels to red flags. Okay, so levels to red flags. Okay, I think it's levels to this. Okay.
Okay.
So let me explain. Okay, let me explain.
Explain.
So the red flag of him being inconsistent and not. No, listen. Him being inconsistent and not responding back in the allotted time that I gave him to respond back, right?
That you gave him.
You know, okay. I gave him a 10-minute window and he has been succeeding that 10-minute window. And now here it is, you're 30 minutes late. We got a problem. That's a red flag for me. When really it could have just been you was
foul.
working.
I call foul, sis.
Like, it could have really just been you was working.
No.
Or, you know, whatever. However, when that man start talking to you crazy and start telling you never find nobody that love you like I do,
you'll never find blum 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 blum. No, I'm
start telling you, you know, you'll never find nobody that love you like I do. I'm the only one for you. You can't leave me, blah, 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 blah. That's a big red flag. That say that he's emotionally and verbally abusive and you need to run this because that emotional and verbal abuse turns into physical abuse and then you're going to be over there like, I can't believe he hit me. No, we ain't got time. I'll take a big old butcher's knife to match that red. You know that's not nice. Father, forgive me.
Foul. I'm calling foul on you. 10 minutes.
Now why?
Come on.
What?
Come on. 10 minutes though. Like,
No, that's how I used to think. I used to think like,
okay,
because I didn't. That's how I used to think.
All right.
Because I really
right.
felt like if you have been consistently hitting me back within 10 minutes or less, right?
Mhm.
I'm expecting for your response time to stay in that 10-minute frame. So the
See?
one time that you go outside of that 10-minute frame, I'm automatically like, you over there doing something, what her name is, who she is, where she lives, what's her social security. Like, I'm ready. Tell her come outside because I'm pulling up right now.
No, listen. Now that is it used to be a toxic trait for me. And I can't say that it is now because I'm not dating anyone. I'm not seeing anyone. There's none of that happening over here on this side.
Right.
But when I was married and when I was dating after my divorce, especially when I worked overnight, like when my guy hits me with them good morning texts, hits me with the, you know what I mean, the text that let me know, like I get off work 6 a.m. in the morning and he hit me up like, hey, be careful going home, da 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 da. And then all of a sudden it's days and I'm not getting nothing. That's a problem for me. But that's a toxic trait because I should never allow myself to get comfortable with something that is fleeting. That kind of stuff is fleeting. It don't last. At some point or another, it changes for one reason or another. Sometimes it may just be that maybe he ain't feeling his best, right? Maybe something is going on with him. So I get all that. Like considering all that, I get it. But when my ex-husband and I had separated, for some reason, because I was so used to those morning texts on my way home from work, because I'm on my way home from work and he was on his way to work, so he would text me. And when we separated and them texts wasn't coming, it hurt me to my core. Like I was so used to, it became a habit. I was so used to that being a part of my daily life and my morning routine that when reality hit in, when them texts didn't come, reality hit like this is over. This is done. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then when I was dealing with Mr. Silverback Gorilla, he took it to a whole other level. And then but see, he love bombed me. He love bombed me. He found out everything that I loved, everything that spoke to me, everything that was my love language. He love bombed me from the beginning.
I was going to ask you to explain that, because what is love bombing? I've been hearing that.
So it's like,
what is love bombing?
So it's like when basically somebody just pouring a whole bunch of love on you. Whole bunch of love. But see, when a misogynist do it, a misogynist is different than a narcissist. And I think a misogynist is way worse. I think they're more toxic, more dangerous than a narcissist. But so what Mr. Silverback did was he learned everything about me. He learned me in order to manipulate and control me. So he love bombed me. He learned what he needed to learn about me. Then he love bombed me with my love language. And then one day he just switched up. One day, all the stuff that he did, like one day he was there and then all of a sudden he wasn't. You know what I mean? Like the communication, it was just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when he did it after being love bombed, like that's a whole nother deal.
Yeah.
However, I had a friend that I have a friend, and the way that our communication is set up, like it's not set up like that. And so it shows me something different. You know what I mean? Like I don't expect, so if I wake up in the morning or I go to sleep at night, I don't see, it's not an everyday thing. But when I see that he messages me, or I see that he calls me, or I see he coming through my line with a video, child be like, butterfly. Anyway, so anyway, so yeah, it's the element of surprise and spontaneousness. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I would rather have the element of surprise than to get used to something and then all of a sudden, you know what I mean, like that changes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something
Okay.
different.
That
That these
definitely.
nicknames is cracking me up.
Shout out to Mr. Mighty Joe
Joe
Wrong.
Mr. Mighty
Mr.
Joe
Mighty
Wrong.
Wrong. Child baby. Cause child baby.
He is also Lord Voldemort, the name.
That's what you get. That's what you get.
Whose name shall not be spoken. You know.
Please don't
But
speak that name. I know Corinne says speak the name, but don't speak that name.
Right. Yeah, we're gonna leave
that
we're
way.
gonna leave that where it's at.
Where it's
So here's some trouble for you.
Whew.
Why is it so easy to see trouble, or why is it so easy to see the red flags in others before you can pinpoint the red flag in yourself?
You know
Or
what?
pinpoint that you are the red flag.
Hold that thought.
Why does it always have to be them? Like, what? See, the biggest red flag is when you can't see that you're one. Relationships rarely die due to natural causes. It was because of a homicide, they killed it, we killed it, or I killed it. It was a homicide or something in my life that needs to be purified. And I think we really have to honestly audit our lives so that we could see, what role am I playing in my suffering that I keep birthing? I know we always like to think it's them, and I can get a whole lot of likes and a whole lot of comments in this podcast if I begin to say stuff like, yeah, they missed out, and you're about to enter into a season. God's about to allow you to enter into a season where certain people are going to wish that they treated you better. Yeah, back then they didn't want you. Now you're hot, they all on you. That's not kingdom, that's Mike Jones. Like, something is wrong if you're never wrong, bruh.
So, what y'all just saw was the Pastor Jerry Flowers of H-Town 6. You know?
H-Town in the building.
H-Town in the building or whatever. But he exactly, like, he literally spoke on what you just asked. Like, why is it so much easier to see the flaws and red flags in other people, but ours, we just brush right over it. It's like we're porcelain, we're fine. I ain't got no imperfections.
I made a fine china. I don't know what y'all talking about.
I'm already a diamond, not in the rough.
Okay.
I'm ready for sale. Like and it's like when you're not, and this is just my opinion, when you're not in the word, when you're not having a relationship with Christ, then yeah, you gonna miss all of your red flags and flaws and imperfections because there is no mirror that's looking back at you that's telling you this right here is ugly, that right there ain't right, that's unclean, that's filthy. Like there is no mirror telling you, you know, that you're actively listening to and looking at, saying all this stuff right here, all that's bad. You need to clean that up. So when you're not in relationship with Christ, you definitely can miss those signs. When you are, you literally have a mirror that's like, oh, I do that. Oh,
we ain't got no
I'm
mirrors
toxic.
around here.
I'm toxic like that. What? Like you don't have that.
Okay. MMC behind the lens. You
MMC
can't see yourself without a mirror.
You sure can't.
Now,
I would never be able to do my hair without a mirror.
Now, if Ray Charles was a person, if Ray Charles was a person, it would be the person that can't see the red flags in himself.
Huh?
Call them Ray Charles, they blind to the bull.
Huh?
Okay. Now, this is the one thing that I love about myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I can't like make a big deal out of me or any of my characters, I can make a bigger deal out of that about myself because I have a problem with being loud and wrong. I don't want to be loud and wrong.
Ooh.
So I early learned to position myself to allow people to tell me. And then I take that and I sit with it. You know what I mean? Like, and then I go from there, and that's how I grow. So that's not an easy thing though. Like you gotta really teach yourself and condition yourself for that type of thing. But at one point in life, you know, not that it was a season or not that it was a regular thing, but there are some things that I found myself being real loud and real wrong about. And when I realized how dumb I looked, how dumb I looked, I said from that point on, I don't never want to be loud and wrong ever again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think there's like, so like for me, and this actually was recent too, where me and mom were talking and she was expressing something to me. She was expressing something to me. And I was like, Mom, I don't do that. And she was like, yes, you do. You know what? Next time you do it, I'm going to show you.
She called you on it.
So the next time I did it,
she was
like, you see, you did it just right there. Just now, you did it right there. And I was like, oh, but you do it too. Bro, it's so easy to like deflect and push it off on other people.
I call it deflect, but go ahead. It's so from my terminology, but go ahead.
I'm gonna have to hear that later. It's so easy to like deflect and call out other people's red flags.
Yeah.
And be like, he a cheater. He a liar. She gossip. Okay, but you are a glutton.
Oh. I know I like to eat. Don't talk about me on national internet.
You a glutton.
Don't talk about me now. Pray for me.
You having sex outside of marriage. Like,
I am not the woman at the well.
Not you.
I ain't doing that. Y'all, I'm not doing it, y'all. I promise. I'm a good girl. I don't know what.
It's your child again.
I'm not, y'all.
As humble as I
anyway.
Can.
We got some comments going on down here.
All right, let's see what the comments say. Okay, so Kai said that is so true. I didn't learn how ugly I really was until I got married. Ooh.
Oh.
Lord Jesus.
Heart patch.
I gotta take my shades off for that one because
I'm gonna leave mine on.
I hurt for that. Lord, please don't let me get married and then find out how ugly I am.
I feel a little dehydrated over
A
here.
little.
I need some water.
Sure. So MMC Behind the Lens says, the older we get, the further away from the essence we drift. Come on. Have you ever noticed that kids stay quiet when they know they're wrong? You know, I feel like you might be talking about me because when I know I'm wrong, I got one or two reactions.
I got one response.
I got one or two reactions. I will either deflect and put it off on the other person.
You deflect. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Or I will just shut down and be like, you know what? I don't want to talk about this no more. This is stupid.
It's stupid.
This is stupid. The fact that I'm wrong right now is stupid. So that's really what I'm saying. Like, the fact that I'm wrong right now is stupid. So I'm just going to leave.
Being wrong is ghetto. You know,
go about my business.
Realizing you're wrong is ghetto.
Right.
Admitting that you're wrong is ghetto. But
yeah.
But to that comment, I got one response. 1, 2, 3, 4. I plead the fifth. That's it. That's it.
He said, I don't know who MMC is, but he can kind of stay out of my business. He all up in your business, Steve. All up in your business.
I'm going to call you later, Eve.
All in business.
He's ghetto. Mr. MMC. Mr. MMC behind the lens, we want to let you know that you ghetto all up in our chat.
Aw.
Okay? You real ghetto.
Why you ghetto?
He ghetto.
Why you being ghetto?
Yeah, I mean, he can't help it.
He's sophisticated.
All right, now Kai said, I did a lot of healing before getting married, but marriage is a mirror. Start seeing how selfish and unmovable you can be.
Jesus.
She
You
said,
know
"Now
what?
don't call me." Hey,
You
wait
know
a
what?
second. Okay.
I have been praying for marriage. But Kai, not because of them, but you about to make me you about to make me this close from reneging on all the years of my prayers. Cause ma'am, I don't want to see how ugly I am. I don't want to see I don't think nobody wants to see how ugly they are. But I'm not reneging on none of my prayers. I'm too deep in.
Y'all know where I'm at on the marriage tip. So we just going.
Yeah, we know. We ain't gonna force you.
I'm cracking
That's
up.
crazy.
Kai said.
But yeah, I think when we look, and some of us we be in relationships, but we like willingly turn away from the mirror. Like we'll literally look in the mirror and be like, "Oh, that's ugly. I don't like that."
I mean, the mirror is like the
But
scale, though.
I'm gonna put a hat over it
Right.
and keep it moving.
Put these glasses on like I don't see him.
Right.
I'm Ray Charles to the
can't
bull.
I'm gonna just camouflage my ugliness.
Right.
But ugly is ugly.
Ugly is ugly.
Ugly is ugly.
Now, okay.
I said, MMC, what your name is?
Squirtle. Somebody,
She's just gonna address you correctly.
I need water.
Don't play around with them prayers.
Somebody type Squirtle.
Not Squirtle.
Somebody type Squirtle in the chat. I seen something and it just yeah. So again, you Ray, so call me Stevie. I'm with it, gang. Gang. I'm with it. Okay. So why is it hard to take accountability?
Because we don't like to admit that we're wrong. I know for me, when I feel like I'm wrong or have been proven wrong, it makes me feel small.
Makes you feel small?
It makes me feel small. It makes me feel like
I hide.
It's like you're all the way up here because you're right, and then I'm all the way down here because I'm wrong, and now I have to look up at you and be like, you know what, I'm sorry, and it makes me feel weak.
You know what? A couple of things happen. Thank you, Kai. Thank you, Squirtle. So a couple of things happen when help it, Lord. Don't do that. Don't do it, Jade.
I didn't do nothing.
Don't do it, Jack. A couple of things happen when I take accountability, right? And I come into, sorry, you tripping, girl.
Yeah.
You tripping. So I either get Holy Ghost gangster on myself, and I tell myself, you tripping, get yourself together.
Ooh, I have heard some of those
or I cry.
Conversations.
Or I cry. Because I'm a crybaby. I'm just as hard as I could be that much soft. So I cry or I blush, depending on the conversation. Like depending on the conversation, depending on the circumstance, depending on what's going on in my environment, like or I call the fifth, like that, I'm telling secrets now. Okay, anyway, so so we talk about what was the conversation we had earlier when we first started talking about red flags. It was a point that I wanted to make.
While she gets her points together.
Yeah, do that.
I wanna say this. Like I wanna say to this.
I wanna say to this.
You know?
What do you wanna say to this?
I wanna say to this. when it comes to like accepting when you're wrong and taking accountability for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
for me, I have been like for the past few years, I've been asking him to like show me, show me,
Oh.
and that was actually what someone said in the comments. I think it was East. Like, show me, show me. I want to be more like you, God. I want to be more like Jesus. So show me anything that's unlike you, and help me to come to grips with it.
Straight
You know,
fruit.
not just show me, but help me come to grips with it, which means help me accept it, make the active step
about it
to change it, so I can do something about it. And I think for me, I used to be loud, proud, and wrong, and never come back. Mama can attest to this, and Jazzy too.
Loud,
never
proud, and wrong.
Loud, proud, and wrong.
Okay.
And never come back and say, you know what? I was wrong. You was right. But now in this season,
that's it right there.
And I can't even say it's a season because this is a lifetime change.
Yes.
In this lifetime change,
come on, teach the people something. Because people think
people think it's supposed to be temporary, and
right?
It's permanent,
or
this is
situational.
And it's supposed to be. Some changes are supposed to be permanent. They're supposed to be lifetime changes. Yeah. So when you make that lifetime change to say, okay, this about myself, I'm a liar. I don't like that I'm a liar. Not me personally, but that was the first thing that came to mind. Let me pump the brakes, y'all. Let me clear that up. I'm a liar. I'm a gossiper. I'm a fornicator. I don't like these things about myself. So what can I do, Jesus, to change it?
What did it say,
and
girl?
He tells you, and he gives you the guidebook. He tells you what to do to change it, how to change it, when to change it, you know.
Now, hold on.
Then you do those things. So now I'm in the space now.
Cut the beat for a second.
Trying to cut me
off. No, wait. Cut the beat for a second. Be careful what you ask for.
Because Jesus gets real petty.
Okay, continue. I thought,
yeah. He's real petty. And y'all, some of these is real prayers that I prayed. Like, I asked him for more patience. And he literally said, you already got it. But since you think that you don't have it, I'm going to put you in a situation where you're going to have to exude that patience that you're asking for. Huh? I asked you to give it to me. Not have me, act on it.
Right.
I just wanted it. But now I have no choice but to act on it. You know what? That's a whole nother conversation.
A whole nother conversation. Let's
But in the space that I'm in, that I have grown in him to be, it may take me a little while, but I will come back and be like, you know what? I was wrong. Let me take accountability for my actions and what I did. I was wrong. You were right, or whatever. So I will come back and take that accountability, but that's after Jesus has been dealing with me.
Right.
Right. And it used to like take months on top of months that turned into years before I even came back. But now he's been coming at me like real quick. I tried to kick my niece out of the room. No, this past Sunday she was irritating me because she wanted the fan on and it was freezing. And I don't like to be super cold all the time. So I turned the fan off. And then she was making fun of me because I almost fell or something like that. And to be petty, I was like, I'm not turning off the light or the fan. And I walked out the room. And almost immediately, he was like, now go back
and fix it.
And I literally said out loud, okay, God, I'm sorry.
Don't do that.
Okay, God, I'm sorry. You're right. You're right.
Don't do that.
I think God heard me. She started busting out laughing. But yeah, and I feel like I've learned that like when you take accountability, because I feel like I'm yelling, when you take accountability for your actions and for yourself, it doesn't make you weak. That's what I have learned. It does not make you weak. It does not make you small. It actually it actually shows your strength
Right.
because now you're pushing past the feeling of I'm wrong, they gonna look at me wrong, and I'm just not da 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 da. All these negative thoughts that start coming into your head,
Mm-hmm.
and so when you're able to push past those thoughts and say, you know what, I was wrong. Now how can we fix it? That shows strength.
That's some
Nasty knowledge.
That's some nasty knowledge right there. We got some nasty knowledge happening in the chat too.
What y'all got going in?
They got a lot. Yo, they blow the chat up
been
though.
going off in this chat.
We appreciate that, gang.
Yes.
Gang. So let's see.
Okay, so Ish
at the top.
Okay.
He said, I used to be like that, but then he started showing me. Like for real.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. MMC says, taking accountability requires a person to do the work in order to fix their toxic behavior.
Ooh.
Don't call me toxic on national internet, sir.
Y'all, she annoying. Somebody
don't talk about
come get
Pray
her.
for me, don't talk. She dancing like cut the beat. Anyway,
said, nah, I welcome it. Instead of being in my feelings, I treat it as an opportunity to blossom. That is so true.
Come on, Flower.
That is so true. Come on, Flower. You a rose.
You still a gremlin. You still very much a gremlin.
You a rose, a tulip, a sunflower.
Yeah.
What? I mean, you bright, so you might be a sunflower.
Yeah, like bright. Sunflower. Yeah, that. What else? Mama said, ain't that the truth? She's agreeing with Mr. MMC.
So Kai says, lifetime changes with a lifetime commitment. Gotta stay committed to the walk.
Ooh, yeah. And
just
you know what?
Walking.
You know what the sad part is? Like, that should be in your spiritual walk and your natural walk. Like, your life should line up, but there are those that don't believe, right? There are those that are not necessarily Christians. And they may not. There are some that are atheists, and they're not necessarily evil, right?
Right.
And then you have others, and it's just like whatever. But that should be a part of your human nature, right? To continue to grow. You know what I mean? Like, see your flaw, fix it, keep growing. But you know,
I asked for that, and then my brother entered the chat.
I know
the MMC. He said God doesn't give you the exact thing that you asked for. He gives you the wisdom to recognize when you're near it. But you have to put the work in. Faith without works is dead. Sir! You better tell me my whole life. Because, baby,
that deserves
one of these right here.
Lord, you choked. I'm choked over here.
I need a chip on this. Being accountable.
Come on and speak the word. That's it. That's it.
It is.
It is.
I definitely agree with that.
That's a beauty mark. That's a beauty mark.
Like I got like here on my cheek.
Yeah, I got one of these eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But you know.
Yeah. It's a beauty mark. It shows when you start taking accountability, it shows just how not only physically mature,
right,
but spiritually mature. And even though those that be like, I don't believe in God, you still got a spirit.
Right.
So you can be spiritually immature.
You still got his DNA all up in you.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
I love having Jesus DNA up in me. Baby.
But I still can't remember, dang, what the conversation was we was having earlier about
I think it was
flags.
more along the lines about like the changes of the world, I think. But it might not be.
No, that wasn't it.
I think that was before.
Yeah, it was when I was standing in my room. But anyway, like,
yeah,
I think,
you found it?
I think so. So the red flag, my red flag is that I could look just like I'm looking right now,
Mm-hmm.
and two different emotions. One of two emotions could be happening on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Either the inside of me is raging with anger,
Mm-hmm.
or I'm super pumped and excited. But I have a look
That's
just
what it
like this.
was.
And unless you know me, you will never be able to tell what really is happening. Like I have the ability, the uncanny ability to just cut everything, and you know what I mean, like, and hide everything.
Yeah.
That's a personal red flag.
Personal red flag.
But because it could, the moment could require that I be vulnerable. The moment could require that I be real and honest, right?
Mhm.
The moment could require that, okay, Star, you do need to be the bigger person in this, and you
Mhm.
need to say something. You know what I mean? And because there could be a communication error somewhere, but on the inside, fuming, and I'm falling apart,
Yeah.
and my world is not making sense to me. But on the outside, I'm cooler than
Yeah.
the school
Yeah.
teacher. You know what I mean? Like,
So what would you say are some of, and I know it's putting our business out there. What would you say are some of your red flags?
my
Like
red
taking
flags.
taking accountability here.
Okay.
What would you say are some of your red flags?
Oh, that was almost the wrong thing to put.
Oh
Okay.
Lord.
um, my red flags is that, like, I run. I'm a runner. I'm a runner. I'm a track star. I run. I will run from something. I will run from somebody. I will run. But the problem is that when I run, like, I'm running from this thing over here, because it's a lot of perceived pain over here. Like if I come to this destination right on this side, then I'm gonna get hurt, or something's gonna happen, or whatever. So I end up running to the other side. However, I'm still sitting in pain. Because there's pain that comes along with ignoring what's really over here. Because what's really over here is what I want, and what's really over here is what I desire. But because of the experience that I had before with it, now this ain't just romantic relationship. This is just in life. I will run from something. But either way, I'm in pain.
Yeah.
because I rather deal with the familiar devil sometimes than to deal with the familiar stranger.
Woo!
That's my toxic trait. I'd rather deal with the familiar devil, because to me there's no uncertainty. But when I hop on the other side with this familiar stranger,
The familiar devil though.
yeah, the familiar devil. If I go on over to the familiar
Yikes.
stranger side, then there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of stuff that I don't really know what's going to happen. I can't, you know what I mean? I can't determine. I can't interpret it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's too much.
Like, I
Too
know
much at risk over
I
there,
know what to
you know?
expect over here.
Right.
I don't know what to expect over here. So I'm gonna go over here.
Right.
I'm gonna go over here because over here is too risky.
Right.
I don't want to take that risk and find out that it may just be better for me.
Mama in the chat, she said, "Take off game strong." Mama, don't start in this chat, man.
And she's a runner.
We in mixed company, Mama. Don't start in this chat.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, the devil that I know. So
the devil that you know.
Yeah.
Versus the stranger.
The familiar stranger. Because strangers are sometimes familiar. You know what I mean? Strangers are sometimes familiar. Like, you can be acquainted with something, an experience or a desire, but it's just like, that's familiar.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna stay away from that. So I'm gonna stay over here with the familiar devil. I'm gonna let the devil I know hurt me. Which I know is gonna hurt me, but the stranger, I'm not even sure if the familiar stranger is gonna hurt me, but I ain't gonna get that a chance.
Right. I'm not gonna give you a chance to hurt me,
right?
Even though you could be for my betterment. I'm gonna come over on this side and say,
I'm
Looking
gonna tell
at
you
me,
like
y'all.
I'm gonna tell you like Ace Ventura, Pet Detective told Dan Marino, I would like you to stay out of my personal affairs. Thank you.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just
So,
saying.
but
you know?
but
So for
you know,
me, I would say that it's so hard when you're thinking about yourself. So like one of my red flags is that when I'm over it, I no longer want to speak. And that's over the person or over the situation. Like I no longer want to speak at all. So I will avoid. I'm a big avoider. I think I'm like you. I'm a runner, I'm a track star too. But
bro, I will
mine is
cut somebody off and walk by you like I never even knew you.
I've done it plenty of times before. you know. But
that could be a
for
blessing,
me,
but it could be a curse for me too. But go ahead.
Yeah, it's like, and then I think I have a problem with like expressing exactly how I feel sometimes. So it's like, because I've done that in the past and I've been hurt by it, I will like avoid, as a lot of people like to say, rocking the boat. Because I have an issue
like
with not Aaliyah's rock the boat.
Oh, okay. all right.
So because I have an issue with being vulnerable,
Yeah.
well, I have had an issue with being vulnerable and opening up, especially when it comes to things that have hurt me. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to keep you over there. I'm going to go on over here. And I'm going to work this out mentally by myself and not tell you not a thing.
Not a thing.
Not a thing. But then in turn, I also won't cut you off because now I'm at the point where I won't cut you off now if I'm been in contact with you for the longest, because now I feel like it's unfair to that person because now I'm cutting you off and it's just to you it's like out of the blue, but for me it's a real reason.
And you ain't even communicated
exactly
that.
I ain't communicated that. So when I finally do cut you off, now it's like, well, I don't even know what happened. What happened? And I'm over here like, you know what you did because that pissed me off. When really they don't know because I never
like
spoke on it.
They're supposed to be a mind reader, but at the same time, like you would think common sense.
You would think common sense
is common, but sometimes it's not about common sense. Sometimes a person just doesn't really know.
Yeah, what they did.
That you know what I mean? That they
that they this close,
right,
to the snip line.
I can say I went through a situation like that, and looking back, I wish I had handled it different because I feel like it negatively affected the friendship. You know what I mean? In a way that like there was lost time in the friendship aspect. So it's like, you know, I'm gonna leave it right there.
Yeah.
Mama's an old school thug. Mama's an old school G. Mama said,
Mama be ready.
Mama be ready for it. She would.
Mama be ready to.
She would.
Let me just tell y'all this before she read this. Mama be ready to cut everybody off. Me and her, she's like one of my. I can't even call her a friend because she's a mama. But I tell
she ain't one of your little friends.
She ain't one of my little friends.
Okay.
But we talk about almost everything, and this lady will cut you off because your hair is too small. Like she's that. Nope. I'm done. Nope. You're balding in the middle, sir. No, that's a red flag. That means you like to hold on to stuff until it's too late.
Mama,
I'm out.
Mama, you know.
Mama be out of there.
Don't be putting Mama out there like that. Don't be putting Mama out there like that.
Mama be out of there.
So Mr. Mike said, so you need a tidal wave. So you need a tidal wave to come sweep you off your feet. I mean, some things.
I'm thirsty. I bet.
Stop it. Some things, it takes some things to move me. You know, it really takes. It takes some things to move me. And I'm gonna just leave that there. That's the answer to your question. It takes some things to move. It depends on what that tidal wave is, you know. Sometimes I might knock myself down knowing that the wave is coming. Make it easy. Anyway, so Ish says I'm hyper independent. Historically, I've only been able to rely on myself, so I struggle with vulnerability. I don't want to give the chance to be let down.
Yes, Ish. You know, come to think of it, now that she said that, that was actually an issue in my last my only engagement.
I've never
That
been
was
engaged.
really.
This got married.
Oh,
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's different. But no, like, it's because inadvertently, me and Jazzy were raised to be strong, independent women. Don't need no man for nothing, right?
They strong black
Some
women.
strong black women with strong backs. You know,
Your back is strong.
get away from me.
Okay, go ahead.
So,
Carry on.
and it's not that she purposely taught us that,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like what we grew up seeing, especially me. Like, I grew up seeing my mom being the strong black woman who did everything that needed to be done in the house and out the house.
So it was
I
conditioning.
learned, it was conditioned into us, but not on purpose.
Like air conditioning or
I mean,
shampoo, air condition, like what?
like hair condition. So I learned I don't need no man for nothing. I can do everything that I want to do on my own. I don't need you. But because I had that,
I mean, I know how to take out the trash and cut the grass.
yeah, I don't do that.
I love it. I
don't
love
do
it
that.
personally. You
That
know,
I don't do. But because I've had that outlook on life,
mm-hmm.
it was like I pushed back a lot, especially when it came to him trying to fix stuff and do all of that.
Right.
I always question, like, you never done that before. Are you sure you can do it? Like, I know YouTube say you can do it, but are you sure you can do it? Because if that's the case, we can go over here and fix it.
Not you questioning the man's
I sure did.
masculinity.
Oh my goodness today.
Anyway, Mike says, Mr. Mike is the name they had.
It wasn't on purpose though.
Mr. Mike said, I give people too many chances.
Mm-hmm.
That's a real deal, Holyfield.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've done that. I've done that in my past.
Mm-hmm.
But I only give people chances that I know. Like, because you're going to come across, whether it's friendships, whether it's romantic, whether it's
Mhm.
family-wise, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, people going to people. People going to be who they are.
Mhm.
Like, that's what we have to realize when it comes to dealing with friendships and stuff. Like, people are going to be people. We're going to fail. We're going to mess up. But if I see that there's somebody in my corner
Mhm.
and they are prone to making right their wrong, I can do that. I can give you a chance because that's the only way you're gonna, you know what I mean? Like your
Yeah.
friendship is gonna grow, your relationship is gonna grow. But when you give the wrong people too many chances, that's the problem. Giving the wrong people too many chances. I've stayed in
Especially
some
when
real
it's the
dumb
same thing
situations.
over and over and over and over again.
Right.
That's a red. That's
yeah.
a big red flag.
Yeah.
Because if by the second or third time this thing that you're still giving them another chance on is
Mhm.
still happening, you're really doing it to yourself. You're like, hey, you can do this all you care about.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I'm still gonna give you another chance, and you can go back and do it again because I'm still gonna give you another chance. I'm gonna play mad and be upset, and I might leave for like a night or two, but I'm coming right back.
Right. What?
Right back.
Okay. So two things, right? Two things come out of that right there.
Mm-hmm.
Is that either you see a squirtle. No,
Oh
either
my God,
you continue
y'all.
to give people another chance. You keep,
Mhm.
giving them a redo, whatever. And then when you finally die, they say you enjoyed them killing you.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Or you become the weapon formed against yourself that's prospering. So
My God.
either way
Every
you
day.
look at it, in those situations you gotta look at yourself. You can't after a person first of all shows you who they are and you don't believe them, then you're totally at fault. And now you need to
Mhm.
look at yourself and be like, I'm the red
Flag
flag.
on the flag.
Call
Flag
foul
on
on
the
yourself because you are the red flag at this point. You're putting yourself in harm's way.
Yeah.
For no reason at all. Because why? Because whatever. Anyway, I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna let that sizzle right where it's at.
but like we said before, when it comes to ignoring those red flags and constantly, because that has something to do with it too. Is like I'm constantly giving you chance after chance after chance,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm ignoring your red flags. Meanwhile, I'm operating in my red flag. So I'm operating in my red flag because I have, this hope that you're going to get it together. Or I love you too much that love is overtaking everything else that's telling me that this ain't it. Like,
that what is what?
this ain't it.
No, run it back. Something is taking over everything else.
The love that I have for you is taking over the fact that this ain't it.
So love
But
makes you blind to the BS? That's what you're saying?
Love makes you blind to the BS.
Come on.
It really do. It really do. But then sometimes
that word does something to me every time I hear it. But carry on.
But it's but we have to that's where taking accountability for our own comes in at.
Mm-hmm.
Is knowing like, okay, I'm continuously giving you chance after chance. Meanwhile, I'm ignoring everything that's telling me this is going to continuously hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
This is not going to change. This needs to end now. But I'm going to operate my red flag of giving you another chance.
Right.
And I'm going to stay here and be hurt and be in this toxic pattern.
Now, I want to address something. Mm-hmm. The marriage, because marriage is coming up a lot in the chat, right?
What's that saying in the chat about marriage?
So Mr. Mike says, I would have never gotten married had I taken heed to the red flags.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the crazy thing about that, right? Like, the very thing that attracted me to my ex-husband is the very thing that ended up being a poison to me. It ended up being the reason that pushed me away from him. But also,
hot dog, that's the same thing that happened with me and my ex-fiance.
Yeah.
The same thing that attracted me to him was the same thing that drew me away.
The same thing that he used against me. Like, I mean, literally used it against me like I was somebody on the street, though. Like we ain't just spent a whole 2 years together or something. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just an enemy, like a real enemy.
You need to cool out.
Okay. So the thing, though, that I've been able to do, like with my friendships, with my relationships, whatever, I've been able to sit back and look at myself and see that, like, I've put unrealistic expectations on people. I've been able to see that, like, I'm still wounded, and I took the Band-Aid off too soon, and now I'm bleeding on the people that I should be caring for, and didn't even realize it, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like. So those what I call come to Jesus moments, where it's like I'm taking accountability, and like people be shocked when I come back and say I apologize. Like early
Mhm.
on in one of our shows, we talked about when our friends episode.
Mhm.
And I said I had a friend, and at the time she was my best friend, and I told her it was on site, and when I seen her, it was really on site.
Mhm.
I went back and I apologized to her sometime after that show.
Mhm.
The Lord opened up an opportunity for me to talk to her about something that had nothing to do with that. But before I could say what I had to say to her, I needed to address that. And I'm talking like this. My daughter is 20, so my daughter was, yeah, she was about 1 year old, if she was one at all when this happened. So 19 years it took for me to go back and apologize to her.
Wow. But
Because
see, that shows growth. That shows growth on
it
a
does, but you know
spiritual
what
level.
the problem is? The problem is with that is that could have caused some insecurities and some
Yeah.
damage to her because we were best friends. So she
Yeah.
could have been questioning herself all this time because of what I did. Like, dang, I wasn't good enough for you to even have a conversation with. I wasn't good enough for you know what I mean? For you to even ask me what I said, if I said what I did, if I did, like you just came and put straight hands on me. And so that could have planted some seeds in her life that was detrimental and harmful. Now she gotta work. You know what I mean? Not saying that was the case, but when we do people wrong, that's what happens. Those type of things make you question yourself. It makes you insecure in some areas. You know what I mean? It challenges the validity of your value, of your worth, of who you are as a person. And then you don't even see yourself as a good person. That's a whole nother thing, because then now you don't see yourself as a good person. Now you start operating like you ain't a good person.
It's funny
So, yeah.
because that actually has happened with me
Mm-hmm.
and my friend for over 19, 20 years. Now we're no longer friends, um, and I haven't spoken to her or heard from her in quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
But I never got a chance to like tell her in the years since that I've been working spiritually on myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the demise of that friendship wasn't all her.
Right.
You know, I can't even sit here and be like, it was all her. I didn't do nothing. I was a perfect friend. No, I'm not a perfect friend to my best friend now, but she still loves me. Hallelujah.
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 Because I'm gonna tell you.
But you know, it's like, so now that I have this opportunity, Brianna Chantal Dixon, if you ever watch this, I just want you to know I apologize from the deepest of my heart. I apologize for any piece of hurt or harm that I have caused you. You are so annoying. That I have caused you in your life.
You deserve some applause. Come on now. Yes. Give the people a pop. Anyway.
So annoying.
So listen, y'all, before we wrap it up, let's go ahead and hit the chat one more time for the
one more again.
Yeah, for the one time. Each says
Talk
you
about
letting where you at? You up?
Talk
you
about
at?
I'm below that.
Oh, you below. Oh, okay, go up. So you letting your feelings silence your God-given discernment, then going to turn around and look at him like he left you hanging. Boom. Mind your
She just
conduct.
read you?
Mind your
I
conduct.
mean, us?
Mind your conduct.
She just read us.
Like Ish, mind your conduct now.
I would like
Mind
for you to stay out of my personal affairs.
Thank you. Anyway, Mr. MC said,
I got metaphors out here.
I mean, a little bit.
A little bit.
You said, talk about stiff neck, but you're allowing the growth now, and that's awesome. So
That's
God be the glory.
That's what's important. It's like
I ain't
operating
there
in
yet,
that
though,
growth.
but I'm getting it.
Operating in that growth and recognizing and acknowledging that you are actually growing.
Right.
Kai says we over romanticize love. Most of us call the inability to withstand being alone love.
Oh, that's how you coming.
That's how you feel.
First of all, love is a whole other thing. Because
That's
people
a
play.
whole nother
People
episode.
play on love and don't even know what it is. First of all, love is
They
not
don't.
a feeling. Because I'm gonna speak to myself. I'm not lovable all the time. I'm not likable all the time. You know what I mean? So
That
I wouldn't
is-
expect somebody to love me when I'm unlovable. Because love is not an emotion. It's not a feeling.
Yeah.
It's an action. Love is a call to action.
Agreed.
Love and that action part, depending on what type of relationship, friendship, marriage, whatever, it's supposed to be unconditional.
Yes.
Love at period.
Yeah.
Any way, shape, or form should be unconditional. But unconditional agape love, it takes being submitted to God. Like that's the kingdom mandate. And if you ain't living kingdom, you're never gonna
You're not gonna have
fully
that agape
understand.
love.
You're not gonna understand it first of all,
Yeah.
because you don't know love until you have to help the person that hurt you. You don't know love until you have to pull the person that left you in the ditch out of the ditch. You don't know what love really is until you have to speak life over somebody that has spoken death over you.
Right.
You don't know what love is until it requires for you to do the godly thing, to do the real thing, to do the hard thing, when all you want to do is be like, call me Peter Guns. I feel like the disciple Peter, and I want to slice and dice because I serve Jesus. I'm not Jesus, and I want to put my hands on somebody somewhere. You know, I want to leave you with a face that only a mother could love.
And there you have it.
And that's that.
And there you have it.
Yeah.
So I want to know, like,
Absolutely, Kai. Love ain't your feelings. It's a decision. It is a decision. Free will. It's a free will decision.
What happens when you learn to love your solitude so much you don't want to threaten it?
Now,
the presence of another person.
I really feel, you know what, Ish? This is why you gremlin, bro. I keep trying to tell y'all we got this. Now ain't the time for this type of conversation, man. Don't come at me, mind your conduct.
I would like to say to this. I would like to say to this that that's where you seek guidance and discernment from Jesus the Christ. Because if you leave it up to your personal feelings,
be easy, breezy.
I'm just saying, if you leave it up to your personal feelings gonna tell you run far away. Where
far.
Jesus could be telling you, right. Where Jesus is telling you, like, nah, bro, this the one.
No, so,
nah, bro, this where I got you at right now.
Ish, I feel like you've been a fly on our wall today, just today alone. You know,
today alone.
Because you know, I was really getting teased a little bit earlier today, but I'm the type of shut up, Jade. I am that one. I'm that one. I'm learning to love and appreciate my solitude so much that I don't want it to be disrupted, because even though I don't go nowhere, I don't do nothing, like it bro, bringing another person in means that now I got to consider this person. Bringing another person in mean now, you know what I mean? Like, I got to consider their feelings. I got to consider, you know what I mean? Like, it takes sacrifice. And the problem with me is I don't want to sacrifice. The free will scares me in a relationship and in a marriage. Because even if God say, bro, Star, chill, this is it. This is who I got for you, whatever, and dropping right in my lap. I'm looking at Jesus like, nah, player, you tripping for real, bro.
You're not gonna say Jesus he tripping.
I'm gonna tell Jesus he tripping.
My God,
Jesus, that ain't it. You got the wrong house.
You got the wrong house.
You got the wrong house. Return to sender. because that's not, like that's not it. Because at the
Mhm.
end of the day, even if that person is submitted to God,
Mhm.
and even if God put all of the good stuff up in them, at any given point, that person could choose to pick up and walk away. At any given point, that person could choose to do the wrong thing. And so free will in relationships and stuff, it really does scare me. And so I'm in a battle with myself right now. I'm
Yeah.
in what I call the love war zone. I'm in the trenches. and
Mhm.
it's grieving love versus what did I call it? It's grieving love versus what was it? Hold on, I'm gonna tell y'all 1 second. What was it? Grieving love versus that's crazy. That's crazy.
Y'all, she had a Squirtle.
I
It's
did.
coming. It's
I mean, I
coming.
didn't have a Squirtle. I just forgot what it was.
But while you're
Grieving love versus loving scared. That's where I'm at. I'm grieving love, but I'm. It's also versus like loving scared. So now I'm trying to figure out if it's okay for me to love and be scared at the same time, or do I just continue to stay over here with the familiar devil and grieve it? Because
So
I ain't no safe over
we
here
gonna-
than I am over there.
yeah, I think we're gonna come back next week and talk about that because, baby. But let's hit this chat and then we'll move on to the. Oh, I want to know: do you have any words of wisdom for the peoples? You got any words of wisdom for the peoples tonight? Not as our chicken, real words of wisdom. I know, it's just burning you inside.
Eggs or chicken, y'all. Y'all need to be safe here out in these streets, right? So we have the whole argument that that a chicken can lay eggs without the male's soil. I say it that way. Let's keep it PG. It can lay. She can lay eggs without what is it? The rooster. However, that egg is really the menstruation of that chicken. So if eggs ain't chicken, then you eat and it's not dairy, and you eat eggs that wasn't fertilized or whatever, then you eating chicken menstrual. Period. Be safe out here in these streets. Going back to the chat. Going back to the chat.
This is a red flag for me. This is a red flag. This is a whole red flag. It's waving in my face.
Kai said yes. Kai said yes. I was comfortable in my single season. I told God I didn't want to get married, and next thing I knew, I was being proposed to, and we weren't dating. He said not even about being stretched per se. I had to heal in solitude, and now it's like my security blanket. I like that. You want me to what? You want me to go? I'll go. You want me to go? I'll go. But at the end of the day, I gotta get back to my blanket. I like that, Ish. I like security. I love feeling secure.
But just send me back to my blanket.
Send me back to my blanket.
When God could be trying to pull the blanket.
I like that. Now he can do that for me. I'm good.
I mean, but what if God wants to take that blanket and rip it up?
I mean, we ain't.
I'm just saying.
Come on, player.
You know what? I'm gonna go back over here and mind my business.
Thank you.
Words of wisdom.
Your lips is a little dry here.
Words of
Help
wisdom.
yourself. Wait,
Words
we didn't
of
finish in the
wisdom.
chat.
We finished.
No.
Words
Mike
of
said,
wisdom.
listen, Mr. Mike said, you do know that the right package can be delivered to the wrong house. Ooh. Y'all thirsty? It's getting a little sizzle. Razzle dazzle. You said bye, Mike. Kai said, Mike, you acting like you've been here before.
Ooh,
You
Kai
just
said-
came in and got comfortable. Kai is what he does. He lives for this. Kai also said it's time to talk about love and healing, child. Right. And you said mute your mic. Woo! Exactly. Cause that's words of wisdom.
Wait.
Y'all. That's my words of wisdom.
Why y'all gonna mute my mic?
Because you still talking about eggs is dairy. Eggs is chicken, bro.
I'm just saying. Guy could be trying to pull the blanket and you keep holding on. Just, you know.
Oh, you talking about that?
That's what she was talking about.
Oh, that
I
hurt.
said,
That hurt
"Sorry,
down in
Jesus
here.
promised to be our security, not to put us in secure situations."
Kai, you know
You
what?
better
You can
speak, Kai. You speak it the way that he tells you to speak that thing.
shut up.
No,
Here.
no.
I'm gonna mute Kai and Jade. Cause
You
I don't
can't
like
mute
what
me.
neither one of y'all talking about. Don't disrupt my security blanket. I like my security blanket.
Yeah, but why you know what?
I like my security blanket.
Do you feel secure? Words of wisdom, y'all.
I would probably feel more secure.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. What's your words of wisdom?
My words of wisdom is pay attention to those red flags, even in yourself. And when somebody is telling you about one of your red flags, take it to God. Take it to him. No, seriously, y'all. Take it to God and ask God for guidance and discernment on how to handle red flags when they pop up. Because they will pop up, even in marriage.
You know, I know Ish. Fort Knox.
Not Fort Knox.
She said, Ish, don't laugh at him now. Don't laugh at him because that's not cool. That ain't cool. But he said, ladies, I've lived an eventful life, so I speak from too much experience. Come on, then, let your experience
for the
speak
male
for you.
perspective.
I love it. I love when the guys get in here, and you know what I mean. Like it can be a cordial conversation, and I mean, this is a safe place. This is a safe space. Like we don't do all that violence. We don't do male bashing, male violence. We don't do none of that. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's that.
I mean, we on here tearing ourselves up just as much as we tear them up too.
I mean,
so
true.
I mean, we ain't no discrimination.
I'm gonna say this comment and then we can go ahead on the random thought of the night. Mr. Mike, he says, Star aka Linus, here's your challenge. Come take my blanket from me. Boom. Okay. If you can. Catch me if you can. I'm the gingerbread man.
Me. No, how did it go off to mute? For some reason, this computer. No, I think he did.
Oh, okay.
So that first video, I kind of feel like that's how I gotta attract Christian men. Gotta put out a trail of Bibles. Hopefully, he can follow the word. Sorry, I couldn't help it.
That's a whole nother conversation. But I think that's another thing that is I if I'm gonna now I don't have a problem with submitting, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a problem with none of that. Like, but if I'm gonna submit, I want to submit to a guy that's submitted to. I mean, to a man. I want to submit to a man that's submitted to God because I need to know that you're leading me in the right direction. I want to know that
Hello.
you're leading me in the way of safety and not in the way of harm or danger. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I want to. Again, it's still it's still that free will thing versus you know what I mean. But
Mhm.
but if God came, He would literally have to come down here and sit in this chair and probably punch me all upside my face and knock my head between the lights and the cement.
Be careful what you say,
No,
because you know.
I'm saying like it would literally have to take that
I know.
to happen.
That's
Other
what I'm
than
saying.
that-
Be careful what you say, because you know he deals with you exactly like that.
Other than that, I'm going to continue to be Linus, Mr. Mike. I'm going to continue to be Linus. Like it is what it is.
Oh, he said, catch that flight then, Mr. Mike.
So anyway, y'all. So listen.
Oh, that was a reply to him saying, here you go trying to get me on a plane. He said, catch that flight then, Mr. Mike.
You laughing just a little bit too hard now. Okay, mind your conduct up here.
I'm going to need a tip.
Mind your conduct up here. So listen, y'all. It has been real up in here. Y'all came through. Y'all showed us some love.
Mm-hmm,
Y'all did the thing. Y'all kept the chat flowing. We appreciate it. We love it. Next week is our season finale.
Yep.
Y'all don't want to miss this. We coming through with some real shenanigans,
Real nasty knowledge.
some real controversial fun. Y'all know what it is. He said, "Don't call my phone." Gotcha, player. So yeah, Squirtle. Come on,
Make
Ish.
sure
Now
y'all-
you know.
Make sure y'all just come through next week. Like she said, it's the season finale. Y'all don't want to miss it. All right. We are coming to a close of our first season of the Good Trouble Podcast.
It's been a lot of bumpity bumps.
Been a little lot of bumpy. A little lot of bumpity bumps going on. Real bumpy.
And then it's been like this.
It's been all
It's been
over
crazy
the place, y'all.
over here trying to figure this here thing out. You know?
Yeah, but we getting it together. We're gonna come back next season for bigger and better. You hear me? You hear me? But y'all, thank y'all for tuning in with us for the Good Trouble Podcast. It's been real. We will see y'all next week. Make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share.
We out.